Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha. Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Makali, Jai Makali, Jai Makali, Jai Madhya Mahakali, Jai Madhya, Jai Shri Bama Kepa, Jai Shri Shama Kepa, Jai Kepa, Parampara, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. So good morning, and we are back on yet another video. So some of the comments, this video is based on some of a few comments I received in one of my last few videos about Swami Narasimha, and then a few messages I received on the Adhyakali page regarding sadhana of Narasimha Deva, and some messages I received from people from the Narasimha Kula. Generally a subject I don't get into because I believe that मुझे सब कुछ पता है. I will give guidance to all forms of deities. All this is something generally a sign of an unrealized sadhaka who tries to play the master of all forms. I will speak about Narasimha, I will speak about Kali, I will speak about Matara, I will speak about Ma Kamakhya, I will speak about Bhuneshwari Devi, I'll give you vidhis for Navaratri. All this khichdi type thing is something I've generally stayed away from. So since you have asked, I thought I'll put out a video on Swami Narasimha, and I believe there is a movie that's come out, and because of that there is more interest among people too who have been texting me. Of course I don't remember the names, but yeah, the comments are there. This is for them. So two major comments: if you are in Narasimha Kula, is Bhairava sadhana required for you to go towards Ma Kali? This was one of the questions. I believe that was there in one of the previous videos. And then the other question was Narasimha sadhana itself. For that, my answer still remains: if you want to take sadhana guidance regarding any form, go to the ones who are only talking about that form, always, right? So if you desire that you want to do the sadhana of Swami Narasimha, then go to that person who's always talking about Narasimha alone. It's because the deity has taken control over that sadhaka, and the sadhaka is no longer able to utter about other forms. For example, if you ask me about Skand, I will look at Skand from the eyes of a Kali sadhaka. If you ask me about Sri Rama, I will look at Sri Rama from the eyes of Ma Kali sadhaka. So I will look at Ramayana as from the eyes of Sita Bhakta. I will look at the entire Mahabharata as from the eyes of Ma Kali. I will look at Narasimha also from the eyes of a Kali sadhaka. So if your intent is to get into serious sadhana of Swami Narasimha, make sure that you're going to somebody who's fully into the sadhana of Narasimha, right? So the second question I had received was, is sadhana of Narasimha. So this I've just addressed, so that is where you'll have to go. If the deity has taken interest in your sadhana, you're just like Prahlada. How did he call out to Narasimha? So if you have that much of emptiness inside you and you're only willing to fill it up with Narasimha, all the worldly pleasures and wealth is not appealing to you and only Narasimha is appealing to you, then yes, he will show you the Guru, right? Until then, you will have to keep searching. There is no one message you send to some page or one WhatsApp text is not going to get you a Guru. You'll have to run after him, but this is the only advice I'll give you. Do not run after him who speaks about all forms. Whenever he wants, he switches. Even in Devi, they are talking about multiple forms of Devi. So these are all signs that they're majorly bookish and by the book. So this is not a realized sadhaka sign. So if you want guidance on any form, go behind the madman who always talks about that one form. For me, it is always Kali. So since you guys have asked, this is my take on Swami Narasimha. A very hot day today in Chennai, and we're expecting a very bright day. We had rains for the last couple of days, but today it is going to be very hot apparently. And yeah, time should be around 9 o'clock right now. We finished the morning rituals for Ma and all that. So Nimitta Kali. To understand any avatar, any creation, you need to understand the concept of Nimitta Kali. Nimitta, what is that? She is the primordial cause, right? Kali is the primordial cause that takes out the energy from Mahakala and creates. Plain and simple. Mahakala 1 and she is 11. Whatever Mahakala gives as energy to Ma, she simply manifests all the creation, all the cosmic galaxies that you see. Every second the universe is expanding. From the center it is expanding. And we don't know from towards which direction. None of our so-called space exploratory agencies are able to find towards which direction she is exploding. And she is said to be, the safe estimate is 74 kilometers per second is the speed at which the universe is expanding. Towards which direction, nobody knows, right? So she's still creating. That force is the karma, the desire for creation, that is Kali. And it is that the desire that even Mahakala is placed on, and he powers her, right? So only desire that, if you say what is the only desire that Mahakala still has, it is to power Kali. And what is her only desire? It is to create. And what does she create with? By making Mahakala Shunya, she continues to create. That is what it is. So Nimitta Kali is the cause. Any avatar of Mahavishnu, if you break it down, you will find her design there, because she is the mother of the Trimurtis. She is the mother of Mahavishnu. She is the mother of Brahma. She is the mother of Mahesh. All three Trimurtis are her children. So when we break down the entire Leela of Swami Narasimha, we need to first break down and understand that we have been speaking about this quite directly, though we never take the names of Swami Narasimha or Swami Prahlada, the realized Bhakta of Narasimha. We have never been taking their names, but today we will break down the relationship or the cosmic connect between Narasimha and Ma Kali, right? So let us go into it deeper. Nimitta Kali. So if you remove Ma Sita, there is no Ramayana. If you remove Ma Panchali, a name of Kali, there is no Mahabharata at all. If you remove Radha, there is no Leelas of Radhakrishna. So Radha is also a name of Kali, Krishna is a name of Kali, Kunti is a name of Kali, Gandhari. So everywhere she is the Nimitta. Kali is the Nimitta everywhere. Similarly, her name, 19th name, which is Kakara Varna Sarvangi, merely means that any time there is the sound Ka, right? Shanishwara's Vahana, like you had all mentioned, anytime there is a word Ka, irrespective of language, Ka, if you hear the sound, understand that there is her presence in that shabda, that voice, that sound that we make, there is her presence in it. So who is the mother of Prahlada? It is Kayadu, and Kayadu is Ka, right? Bala, Taruni, young girl, young woman, Taruni, Vriddha, old woman, Vriddha Mata, the mother of the old woman, Jaratura, older than age, right? So Kayadu is none other than Kali, because Ka, 19th name of Kali, gives us the what do you say? You don't even have to debate this. The moment the word Ka comes up, please understand that she has placed a marker. Will not be seen by everybody. If you only worship Mahavishnu, if you only worship Narasimha Deva, you will not understand. If you wear the lens of a Kali Sadhaka, she will begin to show here and there. She will pop up and show that everywhere it is me. So Kayadu, Ka, is the womb that births Prahlada. Very beautifully, you can be assured that it was her Leela. Plain and simple. Again, I do not want to sadden the Narasimha Bhaktas. I am not going to start preaching about Swami Narasimha. People had asked. That is why I am speaking. I leave it to you, and I leave it to you. It is your right. Just like I say that if I have to speak about, it is the right of the Shishya to glorify the Guru, and it is the right of the Sadhaka to glorify the deity. So if I am not in the sadhana of Narasimha Deva, then I should not be sitting and taking that right away from his devotees. So this is something I am very clear on. So don't worry. This video is from the viewpoint of a Kali Sadhaka on the entire Narasimha Leela, right? Name number 64, Narasimhi, which is none other than Narasimhika, which is none other than Ma Pratyangira, Narasimhi, the Shakti of Narasimha. It is a representation of Narasimha in the absolute feminine form, alright, dressed up and represented as a feminine form of Narasimha, which simply means it is the Shakti within Narasimha, that is Kali. 64th name of Kali is Narasimhi, which simply means Ma Pratyangira Devi. It also means that it is a Shakti within Narasimha. It also means that it is Kali operating as Narasimha, right? Does that mean he is not the avatar of Vishnu? Yes, he is the avatar of Vishnu. Who is Vishnu? Son of Maadhya, one of the Trimurtis. So, who powers every, so just like she will never let you travel alone in the samsara, every one of her own Trimurtis in every cosmic projection that he has. Here we sit in Milky Way. Mahavishnu's entire avatar, you will find, once you get into the sadhana of Kali, you will find her everywhere, sprinkled everywhere. So the names, Sahasranamavali, which I call the fifth Veda, from the eyes of Bhairava Sadhaka, who has attained the state of Bhairava, if you look at the Sahasranamavali of Kali, everything will get revealed. Everything. And she's everywhere, right? That is the cosmic secret, the fifth head. So Narasimhi, Narasimhika, the Shakti within Narasimha. So anybody in the sadhana of Kali will attain all the blessings of Narasimha because she is Narasimhi. Plain and simple, direct correlation between Narasimha Avatara and Ma Kali. Another name of Kali, 64th name, immediately followed by Narasimhi. Here there is a little bit of trickery that is placed only for the realized sadhaka to realize. Vajrangi, all of her angas, hands, legs, whatever you call an anga, an organ, or the body itself is Vajra Angi. It is the Shakti of the thunderbolt, right? The name immediately precedes the name that is Narasimhi, that directly connects to the Shakti of Narasimha. Vajrangi is the 65th name. You directly go into the Sahasranamavali of Narasimha, you will also find names like Vajradeha. Vajradeha, the body is thunderbolt. Vajrangi, immediately following the name in Sahasranamavali of Kali, that is the body is Vajra. So direct connection between Narasimha and Ma Kali. Establishing that there's a direct connect, I will get into this why I call it direct, because the first question I address is, do we need Bhairava if you are from the kula of Narasimha, or if you are an intense bhakta of Narasimha, do you need Bhairava sadhana or do you not need Bhairava sadhana? This is the question that we will be addressing very soon. So there is a direct connection between Narasimha and Ma Kali, and because she is the Shakti of Narasimha. We go deeper. One more, another lovely name of Swami Narasimha, Vajra Vasaya. Sorry, Khadga Vasaya, which simply means he who resides in the Khadga. Direct, very clean, crystal clear meaning. You don't have to, you don't need intense knowledge. Simple bhakti can tell you what does that mean. He who resides in the Khadga. You see the Khadga? Again a direct connection between Narasimha and Ma Kali. We go deeper. Understand that in every projection of an avatar of Mahavishnu, if you look at it purely from the eyes of a Kali sadhaka, you will find her everywhere. She will show you that I am the entire cause in the entire Leela of Swami Narasimha. If you break it down, now let us go deeper. So Hiranyakashipu, you all know the stories. This movie has come out. Most of you would have watched it. If you have not watched it, you can just research it on Google. Hiranyakashipu, him doing intense tapasya, his hatred towards Mahavishnu. This hatred is a very important point. It's a tamasic guna that he has not conquered. So he has intense hatred towards Mahavishnu Bhaktas. He wants to end that entire name of Mahavishnu. So Grina, one of the names of Kali is Grina, hatred. That is a very important cosmic tamasic guna. That is a very important tamasic guna, because if you do not, okay, I'll get into that in a subsequent video. Jai Ma. In a subsequent video, this video is going to be a short video on Swami Narasimha alone. Hiranyakashipu, intense tapasya, attains oneness with Brahma. What does Brahma's entire Leela entail? That he's not the master of the seed. It is a borrowed seed. He's only into creation. He does not attain the state of Shiva. That is why he's not allowed to hold on to the fifth head. He doesn't attain the state of Shiva. Hiranyakashipu rises higher and higher, attains all the boons from Brahma Deva. But his seed is still not liberated, right? His entire kula inside his bloodline, in spite of having the greatest boons from Brahma itself, is not liberated. So what happens because of that? He is unable to put that gunas, that tattva within his own son, and the son is absolutely the opposite of what he wished he would be. He wanted his son to destroy the name of Mahavishnu everywhere on Mrityuloka. However, what ended up happening was that he had no mastery, and the moment Brahma gives that boon to Prahlada, she makes sure that Prahlada, in the womb of Kayadu, name beginning with Ka, simply meaning Kakara Varna Sarvangi, it is Kali. One of her projections as Kayadu, she creates from that cosmic womb Prahlada, who is a complete liberator of that bloodline. She has come to end the bloodline in the form of Prahlada, thereby becoming the Nimitta. So Nimitta is the cause. Nimitta is a sign. Nimitta is the beginning, it's a spark. So what does she do? How to end Hiranyakashipu? He does not own the seed. What does she do? She places Prahlada in the womb of Kayadu, beginning with Ka. In a very simple Leela of Kali, if you understand Kali, you understand it is her. All forms of women, all forms of woman, Bala, Taruni, Vriddha, Vriddha Mata is Kali. Simply meaning Kayadu, who births Prahlada, a seed of Hiranyakashipu, who is taking the boon after Brahma. However, Brahma will never be able to own the seed. He can only give you a physical benefit because he is not the creator of the Atma. Atma goes all the way till Adhya and Mahadeva, right? So, here we have the seed. Hiranyakashipu, no master of the seed, has all the boons in the world. Again, this fits perfectly into all of our teachings. All the mastery of the world, no master of the seed, because seed can only be mastered by the Shiva Tattva. What happens? He ends up birthing Prahlada out of Kayadu, and Prahlada becomes the absolute opposite of his father, thereby becoming the Nimitta. So who is the Nimitta here? Kayadu is the Nimitta. The womb that is within Kayadu, she becomes the Nimitta for the end of this bloodline. End meaning liberation of the bloodline, that is Hiranyakashipu's bloodline is going to get liberated. It is not, there is no villain. I told you many times, Duryodhana is not the villain. When you need to understand Duryodhana, you need to understand Duryodhana and look at him as an Nayaka and understand Duryodhana. When you look at Karna as an Nayaka and understand Karna. When you look at Arjuna, understand Arjuna as a Nayaka and then understand Arjuna. Look at Krishna as the Nayaka and understand Krishna. So similarly, Hiranyakashipu here we would not denote as the villain, but merely as our own states that we will attain. Heights of Brahma's design, but no mastery over the seed. Ma births Prahlada in the womb Kayadu. Out of her own mercy to liberate this bloodline, she has birthed Prahlada, who will now trigger the Dharma Raksha of Mahavishnu and trigger or become the Nimitta for the birth of Narasimha, who will then end and liberate this bloodline. Because if you say that Hiranyakashipu is merely a villain, would you not think for a second that he has actually got the darshan of an avatar, and to destroy him, an avatar of Mahavishnu has taken form? Then you cannot call him a villain, you will call him a hero. Like I've always said, Rakta Bija, if you merely look at him as a villain, you have no understanding of Kali. If you look at Hiranyakashipu as a villain, you will have no understanding of Narasimha, because he becomes one of the major reasons why you all have Narasimha, the Avatara. So, for his liberation, to give him the heights of Jnana, the heights of the true understanding of what is moksha, the Nimitta becomes Prahlada through Kayadu, and taking the avatar of Narasimha, he gets the darshan of an avatar just for him. So, he is not a loser. He is a tapasvi, right? Every tapasvi will attain a state where the deity will have to come and take him out, and that is not a curse, it's a blessing. He may be unrealized at that point, but when that second his Atma, which is the 100th, if you take a strand of hair and cut it into, like this, if you place a hair and cut it into 100 pieces, and again cut it into 100 pieces, that small dot is the size of the Atma. That Atma, when it attains moksha from within Hiranyakashipu's body, at that moment he is not going to be hater of Mahavishnu, he is going to be liberated and thinking that I have got the darshan of Narasimha Deva and he came just to kill me. I definitely had an exceptional physical life, and I am also blessed. And who liberated that bloodline? Who became the Bhairava of the bloodline? You have to become Bhairava of the bloodline. Imagine, let us go into the shoes of Prahlada and imagine for a minute. He is absolutely empty. He attained the state of Shunyata. His exceptionally rich, powerful father, King Deva Loka, is under his foot. What does he say? I reject you, father. I am under the cosmic truth. I will only go towards Mahavishnu, who is the cosmic truth. that fearlessness is Bhairava. So what does the young Prahlada become? He becomes a young Vatuka Bhairava of the bloodline. All of us, the ultimate goal is to become the Bhairava of the bloodline and liberate our bloodline all the way till Brahma. So what did Prahlada end up doing? He ended up being the Bhairava of his bloodline, liberating his father and entire bloodline all the way till his forefathers. And how did he do it? Who helped him do it? His mother, Kayadu, Kakara Varna Sarvangi. So anything you see in this channel will be from the angle, from the eyesight, from the point of view of a Kali Sadhaka and from nothing else. And ultimately all of us will come here, because once you get into the sadhana of Mahakali, you will realize that she is everywhere. She is Mahavishnu, she is Brahma, she is Mahesh. She is the entire projection of the Devaloka. If you go deeper, you will find that she is Indra. She is also Indra's consort. She is also Saraswati Devi, she is Matangi Devi, she is Chinnamasta. Everything is her. All projections of Mahadeva by Kali. And because she is the Mahamaya of Mahadeva itself. So coming back, Prahlada becoming the Bhairava and liberating the entire bloodline. Even at that heights, Hiranyakashipu did not have mastery over his seed. What does he end up being? He ends up being the exceptional Asura, Rakshasa. If you now call Hiranyakashipu as a Rakshasa, then you have to go back to the name of Kali, that is Rakshasi 186. So again meaning Hiranyakashipu also is her son. Prahlada, son of Kayadu, Kakara Varna Sarvangi, Prahlada is also son of Kali. Hiranyakashipu son of Kali because she is a Rakshasa and she is, one of her names is Rakshasi. Prahlada, son of Kayadu, Kakara Varna Sarvangi proves that Kayadu, the name Kayadu itself is proving that she is also a projection of Kali. Mahavishnu, who is the son of Adhya. So the entire circle, if you ask me these questions in my channel, everything will come from the eyes of a Kali Sadhaka. And this is how it will be. You'll have people who are still in those paths, it could take some more time for them to come to the state of equilibrium with the thought of Kali, who have not yet seen the procedural collapse, whose families are still perfectly holding on to the family bloodlines, kulas and all that. It will take some time because she is the Kula Pandita, right? She will decide when the Kula will break. Suddenly there's an absolute break in the Kula and nobody even knows the Kula Deva. It is her doing because she is Kula Pandita. Her name is Kula Pandita. So if you know that you were in this ABCD Kula and your Kula Deva was this, but for the last 100, 200 years nobody is worshipping the Kula Deva, but you have a hint that probably you are from that Kula Deva, so she wants to break the procedure and bring you there towards her. The ultimate form, which is formless, but we still manage to imagine Adi Shakti as Adhya Kali. Like I said, every deity has a Parabrahma Rupam, but Parabrahmana has a Rupam and that is Adhya, right? So here if you ask me these questions, or you have to prepare yourself to get the answer from the eyesight of Kali Sadhaka. Prahlada becoming the Bhairava, liberating his bloodline. No villains in any story. That state you have to attain because she is Matihi and Kumatihi. So any ill thought that we believe that, oh, such a bad thing this Asura has done, you have to realize that she's also Kumatihi. The one who projects the ill thought in the Asura's mind is also her, thereby making him do things which will lead to his own destruction. Indra Deva, he attacks the kingdom of Hiranyakashipu and takes away Kayadu. That Kayadu becomes the victim. If Indradeva had not attacked the kingdom of Hiranyakashipu and taken Kayadu, probably Hiranyakashipu would have been a little more liberal, but she made sure that Kayadu again becoming the Nimitta Kali. Kamadhenu, when Kamadhenu the cow gets kidnapped, Parashurama goes and attacks the Kshatriyas, right? Similarly, everywhere there is Kamadhenu is also Ka. So Kayadu being kidnapped by Indradeva, thereby allowing a nimitta to be placed so that Hiranyakashipu does not slightly touch upon the Devaloka. He absolutely takes over the Devaloka with Brahma's blessings. So that more and more atrocities that is karmically meant to hit the Devaloka itself is done, and thereby the Dharma Rakshak Mahavishnu will come. So everywhere you can notice nimittas. If Kayadu was never kidnapped, why would he attack at that ferocity? Slowly it would have been with lesser force. So Brahma's design, Brahma's bone that Hiranyakashipu received, making sure also that Indra kidnaps Kayadu again so that it becomes an absolutely brutal war. So as soon as the boon of Brahma is received, she also makes sure that the cause for his end is also there. Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. As soon as the boon takes effect, the end of the boon is also mastered, and architect of the end is also creating such a moment that she can also end it by playing herself as the victim always, everywhere. Masita ho, Panchali ho, Kamadhenu Dakau, everywhere you will find her that she becomes, the moment Devi is playing the role of a victim, please understand there is a big message coming. There is a part coming. She is operating everything. She is a grand architect. Beyond Mahavishnu, beyond Mahesh, beyond Brahma, she is operating at all times. It is Mahesh, Brahma and Vishnu, they also are not operating at free will. That is the biggest message here. When you understand Kali, you realize that even they are not beyond her free will. She is the one who has mastered and put all of their own Leelas are also her own plan. So, Kayadu is kidnapped, Kayadu becoming the womb. Due to the kidnap, she then moving into the ashrama of Narada Muni, thereby Prahlada being able to hear and in the womb falling absolutely in love with Mahavishnu's Nam, the Nama of Mahavishnu, falling absolutely in love with him, the Asurakula boy who is going to liberate the entire Asurakula. This entire design. If Indra had not kidnapped Kayadu, thereby making her a victim, okay, Devi becoming the victim. Kakara Varna Sarvangi Kayadu, one of the names of Kali now, becomes a name of Kali now. If she had not been a victim, she would not sit at Narada Muni's ashrama, and Prahlada would not be able to hear the name of Mahavishnu, Sri Hari, in the womb. Thereby, perfect plan. Any Vishnu avatar, if you break down, you can find Kali. Anything Brahma does, you break down, you find Kali. Anything Shiva does, you break down, you find Kali, because she is the Mahamaya of Mahakala Bhairava. And Mahakala Bhairava attains, what does it mean that when she devours time, he attains Shunyata at her right foot? That is all it means. Now, we all know the story of Narasimha. I am not going to go into the depth. There are intense bhaktas of Narasimha doing exceptional work all over YouTube, all over social media. They are doing it well. I leave it to them. Let them teach. It is not my hame sab kuch pata hai bolke. I am not coming here to give you mantras of Narasimha Swami. Please allow his bhaktas. It is the niyama that only his bhaktas should be known in his name. This is the first name. If you are not 24/7 crying out the name of Ma Kali, you should not try to shut other Kali sadhakas down. There is attempts being made by so-called famous people to shut down other sadhakas. I will not stand for it. So, Narasimha Swami's mantras, if you want, please go to the Narasimha Kepas. Whoever is madly crying out the name of Narasimha, it is his right to be known in the name of Narasimha. And only he shall be known. I will not take it away from him. So I am not going to give any mantra, sadhana, vidhi of Narasimha. And I would also like to very openly declare that if you are from the Narasimha Kula and if your Ishta is Narasimha, you do not have to come to the path of Bhairava to attain oneness with Kali. That is the whole point of this video. Directly from Narasimha Swami itself, you can connect to Kali. I am not going to stand here and say that if you are from the Narasimha Kula, if your Ishta is Narasimha, you have to you have to forget Narasimha Swami and come to Bhairava path. Only then you can go to Kali. No, she is Narasimhika. She is Pratyangira. 64th name is Narasimhika, which is Pratyangira Devi, immediately followed by Vajrangi. And he is all his names. Khadga, the name Khadga repeats a lot. More than in Ma Kali's name you will not find it, but in his name you will find it. Ka. So, Narasimha Swami's arrival, the entire architecture of it, you will find Adi Shakti playing her role everywhere. So, do you need to do the sadhana of Bhairava in order to attain closeness with Kali? No. Narasimha is none other than her beloved son's avatara, and her architect. Her tick marks are everywhere. Right from Kayadu, kidnap of Kayadu, wherein she again becomes a victim. Then Kayadu going because of that into Narada Muni's ashram, because of that Prahlada hearing the Mahavishnu mantra, and then becoming madly in love with this name of Vasudeva, ultimately causing Vasudeva to take a whole new avatara. Whose Shakti is Narasimhika? So, if your Ishta is Narasimha, if your Kula is from the Narasimha Kula, you do not need to get into the sadhana of Bhairava. You can attain direct closeness with Mahakali. Directly you can do her sadhana. he will power it. Because Narasimhika, Narasimhi, Pratyangira, these are all her names. Don't worry about it. So this was, I believe this was one of the questions that I had to address. So that is done. You don't have to do the sadhana of Bhairava alone to go attain closeness. If attaining closeness with Kali is your goal and you're in Bhairava sadhana, in Narasimha sadhana, you don't have to break that to get here. I've always told this multiple times. When Bhairava sadhana was trending, people started pulling it all over, and even Narasimha Kula, people from Narasimha Kula started shunning him. And I've always said that don't do that. Don't do that. Especially if you are from Narasimha Kula, that entire avatar's purpose is to protect you. And he will go to any extent for that. Any extent for that. But you have to be Prahlada. How to be Prahlada? Empty yourself. The same shunyata needs to be attained. The same shunyata needs to be attained that Bhairava path makes you attain. Shunyata. When you attain shunyata, you attain closeness with Narasimhika, who's none other than Kali. So get out of this silly confusion. Something trends, don't run after it. It will never work. They tried to trend Shakti Pitas. It didn't work. She didn't want it. So Narasimha is a beloved son of Ma Kali. He is a beloved son of one of her favorite sons, Mahavishnu, Adi Shakti's favorite sons. You don't have to break down his path. She has created a path just for him. Kayadu, Kakara, Varna, Sarvangi, proven that Narasimha's greatest bhakta was born out of the womb of a woman whose name started with Ka, and Kakara Varna Sarvangi proves that it was the greatest gift to Mahavishnu itself, and the womb is Kali. Then why do you need to get out of Narasimha sadhana to attain oneness with Ma Kali? Not required. Not required. She does not want, she has never said that it is required, because she was the one who put the path. She says, I give you Prahlada. My son Brahma created this Rakshasa. To such an extent he has created him. Now he has to be ended, and Dharma Raksha is whose role? Mahavishnu's role. So I also give him, so that now I give him the cause, and that is Prahlada. So do you have to do Bhairava sadhana? If you have to go to Ma Kali is the end goal, that you want to go to end goal is Ma Kali. Narasimha sadhana along with Ma Kali, absolute pure gold. Pure gold. It will work really well. Really well. They are absolutely perfectly aligned paths. You don't have to jump into the path of Bhairava for that. So now you might ask me a question. So how do I start the sadhana of Narasimha? Go to his bhaktas. I'm not going to pretend here and say I know everything, which is sab kuch pata hai. I have attained closeness and I have attained the blessings of Swami Narasimha only because of Kali. Because this is how I look at the entire Leela of Narasimha Swami. I can see Kali there. So if I have to attain the state of Prahlada, I will merely worship the womb of from which Prahlada was born, which is Kayadu. Simple. Brahmanda Gyan. This is called cosmic knowledge. Widen yourself. Worship the Adya, Adi Shakti, you will understand everything. So for Narasimha sadhana, find his mad sadhakas and follow him. You need to then get into intense sadhana of Bhairava, only then you will attain closeness with Ma Kali. No. Narasimha path also allows you ultimately to come into the path of Ma Kali. Absolutely, you will do very well. If you're born, let me tell you, you're pretty special. If you're from the Narasimha Kula, you're pretty special. Because she has birthed, she's the Kula Pandita. If you're saying that you're from Narasimha Kula, now let's break it down a little more and understand from where has this Kula come. This Kula was birthed by Kali in the name of Kayadu. If Prahlada was never there, there is no Narasimha avatar at all. Prahlada, the empty Garbhagriha, attracts the intense force of Narasimha. So the Kula was made from the womb of Kayadu. From the womb of Kayadu, this small boy, Prahlada, pulls because he's empty, he pulls the cosmic Shakti of Mahavishnu in the form of Narasimha. So Kula Pandita, which is one of the names of Kali, is the one who created this Kula itself. Then why will you think that path cannot give you Kali? Can definitely give you. You don't have to do the intense sadhana of Bhairava. Narasimha is sufficient. and is going to take you to the heights of Kali sadhana also. Right, so those questions I believe it is answered. Now to go deeper, Narasimha in his thirst, that ugrata becomes so much that he gets into a destructive dance. All over the Mrityuloka, the three lokas are shivering in his rage. Then comes the avatar of Sharabha. We know that avatar of Mahadeva that holds him and calms him, right? So you go into the 371st name of Ma Kali, Sharabhi. So many of you have also asked me how to keep the Ugra form of Narasimha. Is it safe to worship at home? Let me tell you, I have only kept Ma Kali without Abhaya Varada Mudra. So when you ask me this question, I'll reveal you the greatest secret. Always keep the Ugra avatar. Unless you're Hiranyakashipu, and even if you're Hiranyakashipu, also keep Ugra avatar, because you will be liberated only. Nothing else is going to happen. Your idea of that Brahma's physical creation is highest, that will break and he'll give you higher realization. So always keep the Ugra form only. For me, Ugra is the fastest to fall in love with the devotee. Ugra is for the devotee. So if you're not a devotee, don't keep. That fear means the deity does not want you to keep. Overcome that fear. And Narasimha, who should keep Narasimha? Become Prahlada. Empty yourself. It is the same thing that I've been telling all over. Empty yourself. Become the Bhairava of your bloodline. Hiranyakashipu did not accept Prahlada, who was born out of his own seed, because he was there to liberate the bloodline. So can you keep the Ugra form? If I was from Narasimha Kula, 100%. 100% I would, because I know that I will attain the state of Prahlada and attain his blessings. One of the greatest sons of Mahadhya, such a powerful Dharma Rakshak, he has taken an avatar only for your Kula, and you will think twice to keep him. I think there is some problem here, probably not even ready for sadhana yet. I would keep him in his Ugra avatar only. That is me personally, and that's my personal suggestion to anybody who's ultimately looking at Kali as their Ishta, and if you are from the Kula of Narasimha, absolutely keep it. In the Mahavidyas, the Mahavidya that usually attaches very well with Narasimha is Ma Kamala. However, all Mahavidyas come from Kali and go back to Kali. So, very, very powerful combination. If you are in the sadhana of Narasimha and Ma Kali, very powerful combination. Works really well. I'm not going to get into details of mine, because if you know, I started the Sahasranamavali about 500 days back. I started writing the Sahasranamavali. There is something that happened with Narasimha Swami, which is the cause for me to start writing the Sahasranamavali. This I have not revealed anywhere. I'm revealing it now. The cause that made me to start writing the names of Ma Kali Sahasranamavali has something to do with Narasimha. I'm not going to reveal it, because I want all the glory of that name to go to his bhaktas. It should not be that you try to steal everything. Devi gives you a little bit of light and you say that I'm the expert of Kali, I'm the expert of Tara, I'm the expert of Bhuneshwari, I'm the expert of Kamakya. You should not do that. I do not believe in that. Every bhakta has a right to be known in the name of the deity. But the Sahasranamavali began due to a certain thing that happened with Narasimha Swami, which I have not revealed anywhere. Anyway, so Sharabhi is one of her names. So if Narasimha, if your so-called fear for Narasimha's Ugrata within your house, Sharabhi is also Kali, 371st name. She has the ability to calm Narasimha at the highest Ugrata, and he also attained that state of Shunyata, and he will look at his bhakta with pure love, because she is also Sharabhi. She is the one who calms him down. Is that deep enough for you? Is Ma Kali sadhana attached deep enough within Narasimha now? I think most of you will be able to see. So, let us sum up quickly. Her own son Brahma gives a boon to Hiranyakashipu, making him extremely powerful. During the tapasya of attaining this boon, Indra attacks and kidnaps Kayadu, Kakara Varna Sarvangi, Kayadu, proven as Kali's womb. Births Prahlada. Because Indra had attacked and Kayadu becomes the nimitta, victim. Every time there is Devi becoming a victim, there is something she is planning. Prahlada listens to the Nama of Mahavishnu in the womb. Hiranyakashipu does not own mastery over the seed, because Brahma cannot master the seed. It is only Mahadeva who can master the seed. Prahlada becomes the Bhairava of his bloodline, completely cleans the bloodline. Right? Now, summing up, do you need to do the Bhairava sadhana only then you can attain closeness with Ma Kali? No, if you are a bhakta of Narasimha Deva, absolutely a brilliant path to Ma Kali, brilliant path to Ma Kali. You do not need to forcefully do the sadhana of Bhairava at all. You will attain absolute closeness with Kali through Narasimha Deva itself, because they are very closely bound. She is the cause of that avatar, because she is the one who births Prahlada. Remove Prahlada, there is no need for Narasimha avataram at all, right? So Kayadu, the mother that births Prahlada, Kakara Varna Sarvangi, cause, so which means if you are in the path of Narasimha, she is absolutely going to accept you. Narasimha too attains Shunyata and Saumyata. When Sharabhi, 371st name of Kali, the cause of that, the avatar itself, is to allow her own son to attain the state of Shunyata and Saumyata. So when you are able to visualize the warm love from the Narasimha avatara, it is because he has attained the state of Shunyata and is now looking only at his bhakta and not at Hiranyakashipu anymore. Hiranyakashipu by himself is not to be seen as a villain, because he is the cause. There are no villains. Every time somebody is throwing a hate at you, trying to pull you down, there is no villains. It is her doing something specifically so that they will get destroyed and you can go higher. These are all the intense messages within the Kali path. So, if Narasimha is your Ishta and you are finding extreme pull towards Kali, it is natural. It is natural. It will happen because she is there all over that avatar. You can find her design everywhere, right? You don't have to keep doubting whether Narasimha sadhana has to be stopped to come here. Don't do that ever. If somebody is telling you that, block that person. You don't have to ever live. What a brilliant avatar. Just for Prahlada born out of Kayadu, Kakara Varna Sarvangi, the design is all there. Please understand, no question of saying Narasimha path cannot finally lead you to closeness to Kali. You can. Kali is not Shakta, Kali is not Vaishnava, Kali is not Shaiva, Kali is the Para Sanatani. She is the ultimate, and she draws everything right from different religions also. She is there. Ultimately, one day I'll speak about all that, where she is there, proven. So don't have these doubts, remove those doubts. Am I going to give Narasimha sadhana now? No. Start with the Namavali, recite the Namavali. 1,000 names of Narasimha. Get into the sadhana of the names. Cry out loud, empty yourself, attain the state of Shunyata, become the Bhairava of your bloodline, you will attain Narasimha. Because anybody who says that I'm going to clean this bloodline is a Bhairava. He is fearless Tattva of Shiva. And he will be protected by Narasimha too. I'm done for today. There is another name, Sarabha Bhima Nadini. So, Narasimha's roar is said to be so fierce that the entire Brahmanda shivers, right? Even louder than that, there is a roar of the Sharabha avatar. So, one of the names of Kali, it is 511th name, Sarabha Bhima Nadini. So, Sharabha's roar, which is even louder than Narasimha, which calms him down. Which means even the most Ugra form of Narasimha can be very, very comfortably worshipped at home, provided you are shunya enough within you. And the bhakti is the heights. And you're not looking at, will my job get affected a little bit? All this is Maya. Even your body is Maya, right? You by yourself are not the body, not the mind, nothing. You are an eternal Amsha. These understandings need to be built. No matter who is your Ishta, you have to understand these things. Otherwise, you are going to go nowhere in the sadhana path, absolutely nowhere. So, Jayama. Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Khepa Parampara. Jai Shri Bama Khepa, Jai Shri Shamaka, Jai Khepa Parampara. Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya, Jai Madhya. Nimitta Kali. She is the cause of the end of your job, of the end of your business, the end of your specific path, why you suddenly got thrown out of something and put here. She is also the end of Hiranyakashipu's arrogance. She is the end of Brahma's boon to Hiranyakashipu. She is the birth of Prahlada. She's there everywhere. Narasimha, the avatar. I would, if I was from that kula, probably I do not know if my deity is going to take form, especially for me and come. It always makes me so emotional, and it moves me to tears when I think that deity came in a form just for you, and you're thinking whether it is safe to worship him, especially if he's a kula deva in your own house. I think there is nothing sadder than that. Nothing sadder than that. If you look at me, you will know. The more Ugra, the more easier for the Bhakta. Right? Even Hiranyakashipu, who used to hate Narasimha or Mahavishnu, Grina, the name of Kali, is a womb that will beget you the deity. So, Hiranyakashipu's hatred also was an emotion that Narasimha accepts. Hiranyakashipu's hatred is an emotion Mahavishnu accepts as love. That's why he came for him. There is no villains. This is the greatest message. Jai Ma.